Hello and welcome. In today's video I'm going to be taking a look at more history. I promise next video will be tabs. But in the spirit of Christmas, I'm going to be taking a look at Napoleon's wintry retreat from Moscow, going through why he retreated, why he decided to invade in the first place, and also look at why Russia is such a hard country to invade. With that being said, let's get on with the video. First of all, let's look at the initial invasion and why Napoleon decided to invade in the first place. For this we should travel back to 1805 and the Battle of Trafalgar. This was a naval battle between the Royal Navy and the Imperial French fleet off the coast of Spain. This battle was a British victory, which shouldn't really surprise anyone seeing as Britain had the best navy at the time. This defeat cost Napoleon a lot of his ships and showed him that a conventional invasion of Britain couldn't be accomplished. So in 1807 he implemented the Continental System, which is a blockade that forbid trade between Europe and Britain. Russia refuses to go along with this system and continues to trade with Britain, and in 1812 Napoleon had had enough, and so the invasion begins. Over 600,000 men entered Russia, making it the largest land invasion ever, until the Wehrmacht beat this in 1941. Made up of Napoleon's own troops as well as Austrian and Prussian troops. Just like everyone else who decides to invade Russia, Napoleon wanted a quick victory. What he instead got was one of the largest games of tag, chasing the retreating Russians all the way to Moscow, where he finally met up with the Tsar's army. A battle ensued, which saw a French victory. Napoleon then went on to occupy Moscow. However, as the Russians retreated, they destroyed crops and other sources of food, which meant the French had to rely on supplies. This wouldn't be so bad if Napoleon hadn't entered so far into Russia. Now his supply line was so stretched that food and other supplies struggled to reach the front. As his men starved, Napoleon tried to get the Tsar to sign a peace treaty, but the Tsar refused. Following this, the Russian army set fire to Moscow, which caused Napoleon and his army to finally retreat. That year, Napoleon's Christmas gift was starvation, extreme cold, and a little bit of disease sprinkled in for added measure. Over 300,000 French troops were lost, many dying from hypothermia, starvation, and typhus, a disease that had been plaguing Poland and Russia at that time. This defeat saw the beginning of the end for this once great emperor. Now, let's just look at why Russia as a country is so hard to invade. Napoleon was an incredibly talented commander, as is evident by the fact that he brought Europe to its knees. And when he finally caught up with the Russians, he won. However, the conventional rules of warfare don't apply. This country is too big and too populated for this, meaning that war with Russia is no longer about taking land and destroying armies. It becomes a battle of endurance and attrition. This is something the Germans encountered as they seized much territory and inflicted massive casualties in advance, but still went on to lose the war, suffering from similar supply and winter weather problems that Napoleon did. Also, Russia had millions of people and thousands of kilometers that they could just keep throwing at the Germans to buy time and slowly wear them down. There is practically 1,000,001 reasons why the Germans ended up losing the Second World War, but Russia's geography and population did help towards their defeat. Napoleon ultimately lost the invasion of Russia, as the Russians were capable of trading so much land to achieve victory. Had Russia's geography been different, I reckon Napoleon would have probably won. Thanks so much for watching. I know this isn't my normal type of video, but I need some content to pass the time. But if you did make it to the end, thanks a ton, it really means a lot. I don't plan to make consistent history videos, it's just something, like I said, to pass the time and something I do enjoy doing. This channel is slowly becoming whatever I feel like uploading that week, so subscribe for that I guess, and leave a like on this video if you would mind. Thanks a lot and goodbye.